Hey folks, good morning and welcome back to the channel. Happy Catty Crypto here. So let's just dive straight into it. And it really does seem like the transactional volume is picking back up. And this is a really good sign because previously, right before the crash, after the crash, and definitely before, the volume was just insane. There were so many people wanting to trade. And we've kind of gone through this period where the 1.2% just seemed like too much. And the more time that goes on, the more possibly this could be a better outlook. And, we had a podcast episode with Zaradar last night. It was live. You can just go rewatch that. Some good, useful information in there and kind of an update as to what's going on in Terra Rebels right now. But we were talking about the idea of having so many transactions, and because we have a burn tax in place, that we would just burn through tons and tons of coins anyway. With all of these different kind of projects that are going to be launching, and obviously most of them, if you're here and watching the content all the time, they are going to be helping so much on a transactional level. These commodity pools that Zaradar has been speaking about will ensure that projects that use our coin will have no choice but to actually use the coins and not be able to do anything kind of shaky with them. They won't be able to then go and go and listen to the podcast episode, listen to the bit where we speak about it, and just listen to what Zaradar's saying. And honestly, it's groundbreaking stuff because it's a game changer and it prevents kind of like this neglect on a coin when you introduce it into your environment and stuff like that. So really giving value to it. Now, the volume in itself, as these projects start to launch, the volume will go up. I have no doubt about that. And, the more people that we get interested in projects, the more people we get interested in the overall system and give people a reason for holding their coins. Because in these metaverses, you're going to have to spend money to make money. But eventually, if you do it correctly, like people pay people to pay to earn games for them. They give them 50%. So then the account can be run 24 hours. They're always earning and stuff like that. And it's such a huge environment. And Zaradar believes in the virtual gaming community on a huge scale, down to a fact of kind of why these commodity pools are being created. But the fact that we've got a good outlook right now on the transactional volumes, looking really good. And whenever there's disturbance in the market, there's also lots and lots of opportunities for people to buy stuff, profit, get in position. And when people sell their positions, it also adds to the volume, it also adds to the burn tax. And it's the same with everything else, really. Everything kind of attributes to the burn tax on chain, not so much off chain, but definitely on chain. And the more we can get happening on chain, the better. But there's a lot of people at the moment, and there was a few people asking this in the live stream, and it's this whole idea around really putting taxes on the system, but in a sense of like taxing validators 1.2% on all their rewards and taxing people on all their rewards. And it kind of strums up the biggest issue is we would be burning through our Oracle rewards pool. Okay, all of those rewards are coming from the pool. The aim should be not to try and attack this pool too much. It's really good, and it's good to keep incentive going to be doing burns from our own system. Yes, of course. And, that's what a lot of people are going to be doing. But we also need to understand that if we just burn all of these coins, for instance, right, there's nothing left in the Oracle rewards pool. There's nothing left in the community pool. Why are validators going to validate? Why are you going to delegate your coins if the rewards are nothing? If there's no rewards, you're not, are you? You're going to move on to the next coin, and you would have burnt, our life force, our kind of like our treasury that keeps everything alive. It pays everything out on a validators and delegate scale. Now, if you go to the top holders on Lunk Penguins, you'll see just how many coins there are out there across the board in all of these other wallets. And we do need to understand that doing buybacks and burns are better for so many more reasons, just for it pushing the volume up and the coins actually being bought, is the fact that we're getting at these coins on exchanges and in all these other places. So it's it's imperative that people understand that taxing everything on our own system's not a good idea. Like, I'm currently trying to figure out a way where we can more or less run a system similar to how a validator runs on our own blockchain, and bring the revenue from somewhere else to do buybacks and burns on top of that. And as time goes on, it gives me more and more reason to kind of start the Lunar Classic Burn channel back up, and just don't do content videos, just literally do 10-minute videos 4 times a day of just visuals and stuff like that, or cat videos. I don't know, just anything to get views on that channel to attribute to the burn. And I feel the Lunk community is so much bigger than it was back then, and I feel a lot of people would get on board with it. And considering the channel's already built, monetized and ready to go, it really could work in our favor. And if we do it correctly, there are ways we can get around it. It's just a matter of having enough funding behind the person running the channel to be able to do that, if that makes sense, because the tax system is an absolute war zone in my country for when they hit you on stuff. So it's all food for thought and stuff like that, but it's more looking at that case of looking at burn initiatives that can get to off-chain coins, so to speak. But really good outlook right now for Lunar Classic. It seems like there's going to be a big update going on before the end of the year from Terra Rebels. You can find out all about that in that podcast episode last night, and how that's really looking. There's probably going to be a few issues that arise with the whole COS and WASM system because of the update that happens. But realistically, like Zaradar was saying, and I was saying as well, is the fact that we have so many of these kind of ghost smart contracts that are doing nothing, but they're automatically running, still going through, because they have gas, they have funds still in those smart contracts that will run, so to speak. So just at the end of this video, I kind of want to brush up on Lunk Blaze and then also the Lunk Penguins NFT. I just want to let you guys know that Lunk Blaze takes no fees. It charges you nothing. It's 100% a community non-profit project. And if you are wanting to do, but there's so many people that want a smart contract to burn their yield that they're getting from the rewards pool. But remember what I did say to you earlier, but at the same time, this is a really good safe route to burn. Really, you can trust this website. It's built out from the core around smart contracts and stuff like that. And it really, we are looking to adapt and improve this and give it a more utility, so to speak, but we're working on it. But the NFT project in itself is now being built out completely solely on a multi-signature wallet, meaning that there's 3 of us that will always be there on hand to do anything that the project needs, so to speak. And it gives it 3 times the safety, meaning, say, if for whatever reason, another boat hits me and I end up in hospital for another 4 days because I broke my back in 5 places, then one of those 2 will then be there to do anything that's needed and everything like that. But it's a really good automated system. The treasury is designed so as time goes on and the treasury increases, the rewards will increase as well, and it can only grow as a project, and that's the beauty behind it. And 1,000 holders is actually not a lot of holders compared to a project like Lunapunks, which has 10,000 holders, right? Maybe a little bit less because some people have loads of punks, so to speak, whale holders and stuff. But, that's still a lot more people. But we're looking for more of a community-driven NFT project that's built around allowing the community that bought them to prosper, and not just them holding it because the art's cool, the community's cool, they like being part of it and stuff like that, but actually providing good staking rewards on these penguins. Now, when I did the white paper video, I mentioned that the staking would only become active once the project minted out. That's not the case now. We are pretty adamant that we're going to be able to provide staking from the utmost. That means from the first person that mints one will then be able to stake that almost instantly, from what I'm being made aware from our developers. So really good, really excited to bring this project forward and provide volume, a utility use case for Lunar Classic, and more transactions happening on chain. And then we've got the hatchery launching next year, which is fully confidential for now, but it's going to be an absolute game changer for the project, and will solely once again focus on that community. Now, we're thinking of something a little bit broader here, and I'm working with a person I know in my real life who is pretty much more or less has worked for a bank for a long time, understands the financial system and understands the concepts of how crypto works and stuff. And I'm kind of working on, I can't say too much about it, but hopefully it leads to something a little bit more in depth and a little bit more broader on a utility use case for Luna Classic. But that's all to be seen. And now we are getting somewhere in crypto. We're kind of getting somewhere as a validator. We're doing really well. That gives us incentive, and also eventually we'll get funding from the validators node, from the treasury, to help push our own projects and our own kind of mission and stuff like that. And that's really what matters, because what counts in, I believe, in this crypto space now is, you know, someone who's not just an influencer and doesn't want to do anything else, but also, you know, I don't even see myself as an influencer. I see myself as a content provider, because I'm not trying to influence people. I'm just trying to educate people, show people the technology, show people the systems. And I remember being very at the beginning of this and people say to me, no, well, what are you going to build? What are you going to do? And sitting there to myself thinking, well, he's asking valuable questions and he's pointing out the right things. Don't be like everybody else, and don't be like all of these other kind of people that get themselves involved. Do something, be better, become better, build things, actually attribute to these things that you're wanting to prosper, because in the end we're all going to prosper from this, aren't we? Because if you're holding a bag of Luna Classic and people like myself and Metagloria, Exodus, Lunatics Token, Luna Punks, Luna Burning Knights are building, right, then, you know, it's supporting those kind of people will help ensure that not only they succeed, but then projects on the outside, right, sit there and think to themselves, well, those projects did really well and they're still doing really well. Let's go build on Luna Classic, you know? And we're trying to, like a lot of people say, we're trying to build up the trust, but there's a huge misconception. We are in no way involved with Do Kwon. We are our own separate coin. We're our own community. And in fact, we have the best outlook prospect for the whole of 2023 so far. And I honestly believe we're just going to keep moving on up. And, you know, ultimately, we're always going to be at the whim of the market, of the overall economic factors, because that does affect crypto. And this is why I kind of put out a video yesterday saying, you know, Luna Classic's not going to zero, because these videos have a broader effect on the outside market of people that are not so much involved with the community, don't have Twitter and all of these other things. So it has a negative effect. So, yeah, hopefully, you know, then people will learn their lesson eventually, but I don't think they will, because how it works on YouTube is if you can get loads of views, it equals RPM, which equals more money at the end of the month for them. And as it stands, you'll get 9 to 10k views on a video saying Luna Classic is going to zero, which is absolutely ridiculous. But people panic and think, I need to watch this, I need to know what's going on. And then you realize, you know, oh, that's total horse. So just hopefully you're getting your information from the correct people, and people support people that are building and stuff like that. Other than that, volume's looking really good. And we did a video a week or so ago, maybe a little bit longer, saying maybe this wasn't the best move. But hopefully now, with the kind of things that are shaking up in the market, the new update release that's going to be coming from Terra Rebels, everything's going to start to move up and getting consistent volume back on the blockchain, inspiring all these projects that are building on Luna right now to come back and build on Luna Classic as well, because there's a whole world. This ecosystem's huge. Cosmos is huge, and we need to make sure we're inspiring people and incentivizing people to come and build on Luna Classic. And if you don't want to build yourself, then like I'm saying, just support people that are building, and it really will help the system and everything like that. Folks, have a really, really nice Wednesday wherever you are. Do stay safe. Beware of scammers. Beware of doppelgangers. Beware of anybody pretending to be me. And drop a little like on the way out if you can. It really does help the algorithm. It helps the channel. It helps us reach more people and get above all these kind of clickbait videos and stuff like that. Folks, catch you in the next one.